let's get to where we left off in Davos. You were super excited, and you were telling me about the one thing that the world needs. And I told you love. And you're like, exactly. And I was like, you were like, when you hear it, what do you think? I'm like, it's the universal language. It's what gets everybody through any part of their life. And you're like, yeah. And then you were about to go into this. I said, all right, save it. We got to sit down and record it. So talk to us about love, its mission, and how you got to this point.
So I have been on my own spiritual journey, health, family, different communities that I'm involved in. And the last 3 years, I say that's become a bigger part of my life, what I call spirituality broadly. And what I've learned is that there are a lot of problems we have in the world today that the many of us are that our government, our society, our corporations are largely ignoring. 130 million Americans are chronically ill. A massive chunk of those have two or more chronic illness. I think it's like 50 million have four or more, 30 million have five or more. We're sicker than ever before. If you go and look at the charts around Crohn's disease, celiacs, autism, Parkinson's, diabetes, they're they're through the roof. So 1 in 30 kids are being born with autism these days. It used to be 1 in 30,000. On the flip side, our planet is getting destroyed. $45 trillion, I think I saw a stat recently. $45 trillion of our global annual GDP is made in an unsustainable way, meaning it's extracted from nature. So, what this wall is made out of, and that lamp, and this microphone, and this table all came from nature. It came from somewhere that was once natural habitat with animals and insects and all this gorgeous nature, and that was ripped apart to put these things here, our couches, everything, right? And so we're taking from nature, we're uh nature's getting destroyed. We're using very harmful chemicals in all of our products, our soaps, our shampoos, our toothpaste, our laundry detergent, our linens, the furniture, the toxins that are emitted as fumes into our households. We're breathing in all day or getting absorbed into our skin and our blood all day, which is creating the sickness. So I became frankly petrified about where our planet is heading. Um, and so I asked the question, I was like, how do we solve these gargantuan problems? And I realized that nothing is going to change until we change where our money goes. Where money goes is where energy flows. So if they say you vote once every 4 years for your president, well, you're voting every single day for what corporations you support and what practices you support. So if you're trying to vote good in politics, but every day you're buying things on Amazon that are made for chemicals that are bad for your health, that are bad for the planet, that's destroying the planet, that's eviscerating small businesses who try to innovate and get ripped off, which is what's happening with most of our dollars. Horrible work conditions. We're voting for all these things every single day. And so we wonder why the world is in such a bad shape. When we're voting for these horrible things, we're voting for illness, destruction of nature, horrible work conditions, and evisceration of small business. We're voting for that every day when we shop. And we wonder why these problems exist. So I had this crazy idea of building an inverted Amazon, where instead of it's the cheapest, lowest cost, you know, suppliers, it thought we're not going to make it more expensive. We're going to prioritize small businesses. Instead of ripping off the small businesses, we're going to prioritize small businesses. Instead of letting anything on the store, we're going to let only products that pass our standards around chemicals, toxins. We're going to do the homework on behalf of consumers, and we're going to look at sustainability. And so we're going to hold high standards and build a new everything store. We call it the Clean Green Everything Store, which is love.com. And you think of the name love.com. It's where love meets commerce. And so this is the bridge that we're building. And I'm sorry if I'm talking a little too long. I'll just finish. For consumers, whereas today it's way too hard. Let's say you want to vote with your dollars and vote for better values. Well, if you're going to search non-toxic deodorant or sustainable furniture, I mean, it's too much work. Like Google search and find the brands, research the brand, separate sites, separate shopping experiences, one-stop shop with love.com. You can search for anything, and everything you find is past a certain threshold of our love standards and is generally speaking good for your body, good for the planet, good for small business.
So it's all. Is there a name for that? Like environmental friendly? Is it? What's the name? Like, is there like a? Or is it
Yeah.
just
We're calling it the Clean Green Everything store.
so anything in society that you want, but done ethically?
Yeah. Made with love. All products that are made with love are made ethically. Now, not everything is perfect. We have a page that describes our standards. Not everything is perfectly sustainable or perfectly organic, but it has enough. The businesses are trying hard enough where we say, all right, they're trying hard enough. They've done enough things where it's past our standards and they can make it on the love marketplace.
So this is like Amazon for companies that operate at the highest ethical level.
Exactly. Exactly. And to give the ethical consumers the same shopping experience as Amazon. Because right now they have to spend way too much time shopping, discovering, research. Now they have one place to go for everything they need to purchase.
Focusing on small businesses specifically.
Yep. 95+% of the brands and products on our site are made by small businesses.
And it's everything from clothing to groceries.
Yeah, clothing, groceries, bedding, beauty, bath, baby. We have over 10,000 SKUs on the site now. We want to be at 30,000 by end of this month, 60,000 by the following month. So we're sourcing products morning till night. Yeah, super excited about it.
I think the first thing we laughed about, I'm like, love that. You trademarked that? I'm like, how did you get love that? Nobody had that? And then I was like, okay. I first thought maybe you said you wanted to solve something in the world. And you said, what's the number one thing that affects our world? And we left there, and when I left, I'm like, oh, it must be talking about health, but the health of the environment, the health of the world, really, in a sense. So you have Bolt and you have love.com. Is this now all the practices that you've learned, you're now implementing them in real time, and I'm doing this again. I can do it again.
Exactly, because with Bolt, we're giving every shop the Amazon one-click experience. So we have some great customers like Revolve, Fanatics, Casper, Saxoff Fifth, who now when you go and you shop there, you have this incredible one-click Amazon one-click experience that's powered by Bolt. So I've been spending the last 10 years building streamlining commerce experience.
Who are your other clients? Because everything you just said, I've shopped in the last month, and I didn't even have any idea. But
Really?
thank you. Yeah.
Well, see, it works in this kind of magical way where we're not like a PayPal or an Apple Pay or Google Pay where the button is front and center, it redirects you somewhere else. It's just native on the site. So if you start typing in your email and we have your account, we'll be like, hey, you already have an account, enter a one-time code, send to your phone, you enter a one-time code, all of your information's preloaded, and then you click pay. And so Bolt, as opposed to these other wallets, is embedded and native to the merchant site. That's our unique innovation. And so, yeah, we've got hundreds and hundreds of retailers. Bolt is, God willing, going to have a breakout year this year. We're signing major brands as the ones I've listed and many others. And, there's a domino effect of retailers. We've got 80 million shoppers on the network now. Which is massive. 2 years ago, I think it was like 11 or 12 million shoppers on our network. So the network is expanding rapidly. The goal with Bolt is to let everyone build their own have their own Amazon one-click checkout experience where there's no different shopping from Revolve to Casper to Amazon.